that Mexico City World Cup in November, I think, Steve.
Yes, it starts on November the 27th and finishes on December the 3rd, and will be one of 40 countries playing in that tournament this year. They're expecting a big field in Mexico City.
Now it's the first game in the women's finals, and the second qualifier is Doreen Dockery of Victoria, and that's Doreen. And her opponent is Del Ray of Western Australia. That's Del Ray with the second of her practice balls before the first game. Del Ray of Western Australia won the South Pacific Classic in 1981, Perth Masters in 83. That's one of two big tournaments she won this year, the City of Perth singles, and she is a member of this year's World Championship team. Del Ray from Western Australia. Doreen Dockery from Victoria, sixth in the Asian Zone All events in Manila last year, second in the Australian Masters last year, and second in last year's ATBC Classic singles. And Del Ray has bowled the first ball of the first game, and now it's Doreen Dockery. Or were they their last two practice balls, Steve? Yeah, no, they were the first balls of the game, and both have 9 pins down with their first balls. Del Ray now is left with the 3 pin for the first frame spare, and that's no trouble. Doreen Dockery has the 7 pin right out on the left-hand side of the lane at the rear of the pin deck.
Yes, and Doreen and Del both have been around the game for a long time. Doreen Dockery won the National All-Star Tournament in 1964. That was her first major title, and she's been a good bowler ever since.
Del Ray, a former winner of this title. She was the winner in 1981. Had a high game in this tournament of 246 and an average of 196. She won 9.5 of the last 15 qualifying games.
And Doreen Dockery won 10, I think, John. So
yes,
they're both pretty even. Their averages weren't much different either, only a pin between them.
Yes, Doreen Dockery averaged 195 as against Del Ray's 196. And Doreen Dockery's high game was 220, 26 below Del Ray's best. And Del Ray spares the second frame.
I might say this about Del too, that she is about one of the only bowlers in the tournament that only brought 1 ball across with her. During the qualifying rounds, we have to check everyone's equipment in, and we had 447 balls checked in by the 130 bowlers, an average of 3.5 per person. So Del Ray, one of the rare breed of the old school, just brings out 1 ball and finds a way in with it.
So the scores in the first frame: Del Ray 19, Doreen Dockery 18. Both have spared the second frame.
And a nice straight arm swing for Del Ray. She does a lot of work coaching the juniors over in Perth, and she's just telling herself there what to do. Both lovely women. Oh, good break there for Doreen Dockery.
I thought she'd left a split very similar to the one that Del Ray has and on the other side of the deck.
There's Doreen's nice straight arm swing, a good follow through too.
Now Del Ray with this rather difficult one, and she's missed it. She's opened the third frame, so her score is 46 in the third frame. Doreen Dockery is 37 in the second frame, and just the 7 pin to spare frame 3. So that will give her an advantage now, Doreen Dockery, with that spare in the third as against an open frame for Del Ray. Del Ray 46 in the third frame.
And Del, good concentration. Her mind's on the job. She's trying to relax. That's a good shot. Yes. That's her favourite shot, John, when she can lay the ball down there and it's coming into the pocket there. She gets a lot of strikes like this one right now. There is the 4 pin last. Dockery now crossing over, but it's a strike all the same. And 11 pins the lead now. I remember Doreen and I bowl in the American All-Star in 1968, and we bowl a lot of mixed doubles matches together, and she's a good opponent to have with you and also against you. She's a solid competitor. Well, Dell trying to do the same as she had in the frame before, but that was a little bit higher on the one pin, and she's left. And here we go with Doreen. Good push away, nice and straight. Comes straight out of the ball. Good follow through.
And Doreen Dockery strikes for the second time in a row. Strikes in frames 4 and 5. Her score 57 in the third frame. She's consolidating that lead now.
Dell shooting cross lane at that one with a spare. Well, Dockery's on 2 strikes in a row now, and she looks like she's in good form for this match. She finished with a big game in the match play to make the top 3. She had 220 under pressure. She can produce. She's on 2 in a row.
Oh, she's left quite a nasty one there.
Yes, tough break too. That pin jumped back on the deck, but it didn't go anywhere near the 7 pin, and she's left the 6-7-10 split now, and this gives Doreen a chance to make up a little bit of it. That's Doreen's.
Yes.
That's Doreen's specialty.
Well, that puts a different complexion on this first game now. That very good strike by Del Doreen. That puts her right back into it. She's 86 in the 5th frame with a strike in the 6th. This could be
Look
an
at
open
this.
frame. She's having a
Ooh,
go.
boy.
Oh, my goodness. Nearly did it.
Yes, good try for Doreen Dockery. Well, Doreen needs another strike to take a small lead. If she gets a spare, she'll be a few sticks behind. So Doreen in the Australian Championship team to go to Venezuela later this year. She could be elected captain, actually.
Oh,
Very
not quite.
Good thinker of the game. She knows what she wants to do. She knows how to get things out of herself when she's under pressure. Dockery just a little bit off target, a little bit off balance. Doreen's always been one that when she's followed through, she's lifted her balance leg a little bit too high sometimes.
She gets this one. She's 6 pins behind, and she's got it. 6 pins behind now. It's 1-1-12 to Dockery as against 106 to Doreen in frame 6. Doreen has spared the 7th. And Dockery needs these 2 pins, the 6-10 pins.
Well,
to
she
spare
just
the
got them
same
a
frame.
moment ago, but she's got them again. Big smile there. Didn't look too good halfway down the lane, but the ball straightened out, and she covered those two pins. Doreen now up in frame 8. Very good push away. Ooh, she's got out of that one badly.
Yes. She almost put that one in the gutter. She went so wide on the lane.
Yes, I think she hit around about the 3rd board of the lane then, and didn't have much room to play with, but got 6 all the same. Dockery looks good.
Oh, yes. Good strike. Now,
10
Del
pins the
Doreen
difference.
Del Doreen has quite a difficult spare here. She's left what I think is called the picket fence, Steve. The 1, 2, 4, 7 in a line.
Yes, quite a difficult one. I'm not quite sure how Dell's going to go. Oh, she's going for the right place.
Oh,
and
she's
she
got
covered
it. Well done.
And let's have a look at this spare. Ball going in the perfect place for it. You watch what happens to those 2 pins. The ball carried them. Dell isn't bowling with the full weight. Her ball is a little bit lighter than the normal 16 pounds that the top bowlers play. And it slided across.
Well, Doreen Dockery has a lead of 10 pins in the 7th frame, 132 to 122. Del Doreen needing a spare here, needing a strike, I should say, and she's got it. Crossed over and got that Brooklyn strike. That gives her 142 in the 8th frame.
And you might have noticed there in the replay that Dell's arm was right up in the air and a little bit to the left, and that's what happened. She pulled the ball to the left, but it struck all the same for her. Dockery with an easy spare down the middle of the lane. Still 10 pins the difference in this match. Going into the 10th frame of the first game. The winner of this match will go on to meet Australia's Bowling World Cup champion and the top qualifier for today's program, Jeanette Baker. And the loser will assume third place and take home a cheque for $900. That's a better one by Doreen.
Yes.
Oh, good shot. Very pleased with herself too.
That gives her a real chance now. 2 strikes in a row in the 9th and 10th frames. She was 10 pins behind in the 8th frame, but Doreen Dockery spared the 9th.
Dockery, good concentration, kept her head down there, but got out of the ball a little bit on the fast side and wasn't able to impart lift to it. Well, 169.
Well, yes, and Dell could take the lead now if she can strike again.
Well, that's a bit wayward.
Oh, yes, crossed over again. Well, she's 170. She has a 1-pin lead in the 9th frame. Del Ray, 170 to 169.
Dockery needs the spare.
Yes,
Oh boy,
she's got
she
the
just
spare.
got it.
So she has a bonus ball now in the 10th frame. She is a possible 189.
And look at this one. Just got that 5-pin.
And Del Ray is a possible 190.
Oh,
yes.
Spare. Well, she might
Beautifully
need
done.
that pin, John. I think it was important to go for that for Dell.
Yes. So that will give her a 1-pin lead, at least, after the first game. This is a possible 189.
And
It is a 189, so it's 190 to Doreen and 189 to Doreen Dockery. 1 pin in it. Now the second game.
Both of these girls bowling very fast. They don't muck around. Straight up on the approach. Actually, women usually tend to bowl a bit faster than the men, John. I've noticed in league and tournament matches. I don't know why.
I think there is one lady who takes a lot longer than any other bowler I've seen. This Ruth Gerster.
Yeah, she takes a
She
bit
does.
of time up there, but there's another one. I might mention her name, Lillian Bruce. I saw her bowl a game once in about 8 minutes. It was amazing. But we're back now with Dockery, and she has left the baby split, the 3 and the 10 in the first frame, and Doreen, 1 pin the difference. She's ahead. She'd like to start out nicely, and that looks pretty good.
Yes. Again, the Brooklyn strike for Del Ray.
And there it is on the Brooklyn, but it all went over. And Dockery's got this nasty little one. I think she's got it. Oh, no, it slid past.
Just missed the 3-pin. So that's an open frame, the first frame. That's 9 to Doreen Dockery in the first frame, scoring only the pins she knocked down with the 2 balls. No bonus ball in the first frame. 9 pins. Del Ray started with a
nice
strike.
straight arm there too. Yes, tough break that time. Left an 8-pin. Could have been a double, but she's relaxing after the shot. Oh, good shot by Doreen Dockery. She's got to start a couple of strikes now. She opened that first frame. And this one coming in beautifully. Takes the 10-pin last.
Del Ray needing this one for 20 in the first frame. That gives her an overall lead of 12 pins, 11 in this game in the first frame, and 1 from the first game.
They've all been very close matches.
12 pins. Yes.
Curie beat Prez in the first match by 8 pins, and then Sullivan went on to win the South Pacific Classic by 15, and now we've got a 12-pin difference in this women's final. And that could have been another strike, but not to be for Dockery, who's left a 10-pin standing, and DeRay not wasting any time at all. Nice push away, back to the Brooklyn.
Again, she crossed over. Well, she's 38 in the second frame, Del Ray, as against a possible 29.
And DeRay telling herself to just keep on swinging it through straight, swing it through straight. And Dockery getting the spare that Tom Curie will remember for some time. Curie missed that against John Sullivan in the grand final.
Lead is down now to 10 pins overall.
Well, it's less than
Well,
that
less
now.
than that now that frame has been opened by Del de Rey. Del de Rey 47 in the third frame, that open frame, as against a possible 49 for Dockery. Dockery could take a 1-pin lead if she can strike here.
And Dockery, using a conventional grip, has her fingers all the way into the second joint, and that's unusual as well. But back now with the pins, and still 1 pin behind Dockery.
Yes, leaving 2 standing there. Leaves her that 1 pin behind overall. It's 47.
And Ray out the window with that one. Girls are going to have to take stock of the situation. They're running out of frames and only a pin the difference. Of course, if there's a tie, they have that 2-frame playoff, and that's not easy. But there's a good shot of Dockery's hand.
And that's 1 pin difference, of course, overall. In this game, they're dead level, both 47 in the third frame. And there's the spare for Dockery. Now, this is a nasty one. Sullivan had this split, or this spare, in his second game, and he left the 8-pin standing, the sleeper at the back.
Oh, and she's...
And Del de Rey has left 2 of them standing.
Yeah, she got up there too fast that time, and she was ready to let go the ball, and it was already gone.
That's her second open frame in succession. So Del de Rey 55 in the fourth frame.
And a conventional grip, all the fingers down as far as they will go. Well, Dockery, it looks good. Yes, nice shot. Well, 11 pins the difference now, and that's all because of this particular shot there. Back to de Rey, who crossed over again and left the single 5-pin standing in the middle of the lane. 11 pins behind now, de Rey. It's amazing how the game can turn around. A pin the difference. She was 12 pins up after the first frame. All of a sudden, a couple of frames later, she's 11 pins behind. And Dockery with an ominous-looking strike in that last frame. de Rey's a little bit out of timing. She got rid of that ball very quickly. Her feet are too fast for her arm swing, and she's going to have to take stock of that. She's got a few timing problems. Dockery jumping up, hopes to get a double.
Well, Dockery in front now. She's 67 in the fourth frame, as against Del de Rey's 55.
And it's rocking, but it's not going to go, and tough break for Dockery. She could have had a couple of doubles in this game, but she hasn't strung more than 1 strike yet.
Well, if anybody needed a strike, Del de Rey needs one here.
Well, that's better timing. She had a better shot that time, and it showed off. Yes, much better release.
With that strike is 75 in the 5th frame, strike in the 6th. And Doreen Dockery spares the 6th frame. She's 87. That's a lead in this game of 8 pins and over what is it? No, 12 pins, which means she's 11 in front overall. Del de Rey, having gone into the second game, 1 pin ahead.
Let's have a look at de Rey's timing now, see if she's got it back. Yeah, that looked pretty good. Yes, it's another one, and that's caught up the leeway. Dockery now under pressure. Over to the Brooklyn side, but carries the 6-pin, and it's a double. Looks good up on the score sheet. Dockery out the window. Nasty 4 pins left standing there, the 2, 4, 5, and 7. The result of a ball let go in haste. No fingers on it, no side turn. Dockery now in a little bit of trouble.
Yes. She's 103 in the 6th frame, as against a possible 105 for Del de Rey.
And those
well, she's opened that one.
pins have stood for her.
So that's 112 in the 7th frame for Dockery.
And de Rey now the leader.
Yes.
Regardless what she does. Well, that is a comeback and a half, John.
It certainly is. That's 105 now in the sixth frame, as against a 103 for Dockery in that same frame. But Dockery comes back with a strike. Dockery 112 in the seventh with that strike in the eighth. Del Rey has a lead of 3 pins in the sixth frame. It's the 2 in this game, plus the 1 in the first game.
And there's those nice-looking strikes up there, and DeRay in the foundation frame now. This is an important shot for her. Oh, and broke them up. 8 pins in the first ball of the ninth. 133 now in the seventh frame. Dockery 112, 22 pins ahead, but Dockery with a strike. She needs a...
Oh, and she's left the very same spare. Oh, no, not quite. She's left the 3-6. Del Rey has the 6-10.
Both of the bowlers then pulling the shot in under pressure. And
yes.
DeRay gets the spare. She jumps up and down on that one, and rightly so. She almost missed that. You don't need to open the ninth frame in a 2-game match. Dockery's got her spare. Well, we're down to the wire again, our third close match in a row. Del Rey needs to get a strike to shut the gate.
Yes, she leads now by 22 pins overall. She has a lead of 21 in this game, 153 to 132 in the 8th frame, and that 1 pin from the first game.
Well, DeRay doesn't want to do anything silly. Oh dear. Hasn't left herself a very easy spare to go for, and she knows it. Dockery can win. Needs a strike at least on this shot. Oh, what a ball under pressure. Great release and a great result. Let's have a look at this. Watch the 5-pin go. That's it. It's just gone now. Certainly a 16-pound ball being rolled by Doreen Dockery of Victoria. Del Rey has opened the 10th frame.
Yes. So she finishes with a game of 179.
And the position is this, John. Doreen Dockery must get a strike and 9 or another strike, and she'll win the match.
Yes.
This has got to be a strike.
She's got a possible 182 if she can strike
this
here.
This has got to be a strike. Yes, it is.
Got it.
Okay, now, the situation is this. If Dockery gets 8 pins over on this next ball, we have a tie situation. If she gets 9 or a strike, she wins the match and goes on to play Jeanette Baker for the championship. So all eyes upon Doreen Dockery. There's about 600 or 700 people in attendance now at Bankstown Bowl, and Doreen Dockery needs a strike or 9 to go into the championship match. Oh boy. It's got to be a strike or 9.
So it's this ball to decide this.
And how is it?
No, she's only got 7.
Beaten by a pin.
She's got 7. That's 179. She has squared this second game and lost by 1 pin overall. Well, what a finish. And that pin, the 5-pin, is still
Del
rocking
Rey
down
has
there.
just found out about it.
Yes.
She didn't quite know what was going
Del
on there.
has won it by 1 pin over the 2 games.
And here's Dockery's shot. A little bit outside her target area. And let's have a look at this last pin. If that pin shaking now, if that had gone, she would have tied the game. But the machine picks it up and she wins by a pin. Del Rey going into the